In Module 48.2, Myers takes you through attachment and the reasons why there may be differences in the way infants form their emotional bonds with their caregivers. At heart, that's what attachment is. It's the close emotional connection between a caregiver and a child, at least in terms of developmental psychology. There are other forms of attachment besides infant and caregiver, but that's the one we're focused on. And we're going to take a look at this experiment and go through it and see how it contributes to our understanding of attachment differences. But before we get there are certain questions that seem to inform and guide the research on attachment and the differences in attachment. And again, keep this in mind. We're really talking about why do some mothers have strong relationships with their infants and other mothers seem relative to that first group to have less of a strong emotional connection or bond with their child. And obviously we're talking about mothers here, but it can be fathers and other relatives as well. So one of the questions that guides it is, well, do parenting styles, might that affect the emotional bond? Or the temperament of the baby? To what extent? And obviously it could be both. But these two questions guide much of the research on that you'll see in AP when it comes to attachment and attachment differences. So Mary Ainsworth, very, very oversimplified here, but she does an experiment called the strange situation. After running the experiment with mothers and their babies, she divides the babies up, depending on how they do in the experiment, as securely attached or insecurely attached. And about 60% of the babies who participate in the experiment are categorized as securely attached. She doesn't leave it there, though. The next step is to then look at the mothers of the securely and insecurely attached. And this is what she finds. She basically finds that the mothers of the securely attached are more responsive to the needs of their babies and also more sensitive, meaning they seem to know when their baby is in need, and they seem to, we can say, guess or just have this intuition that their child is in need, whether it be for stimulation, for food, encouragement, whatever it is, much more so than the mothers of the insecurely attached babies. Now, this is the next layer of the experiment. Myers doesn't give you this. Some AP books do. Well, here, Myers does give you most of this. This is what the experiment actually is comprised of. Okay? And here, basically, are the different categories of the babies. So, we see the securely attached. For the insecurely attached, she actually comes up with two subcategories: avoidant anxious and ambivalent anxious. And then a woman named Mary Main continues her work and comes up with, maybe we'll make this A and B, 1, 2, a third category called disorganized, disoriented. And this is that slide right here, so you can actually read it. You'll need to know these concepts. No other way to do that but to memorize them, right? To write them down and to memorize them. And then here are the mothers. So basically, and remember you can go back and forth on this vodcast. So here we had the types of the categories for the type of children in the experiment. And here we have information on the mothers of the specifics, right? So these two are the insecure, right? And here are your details. Okay, so that part you'll just have to memorize and get to know those terms. You'll most likely see that in the multiple choice format setting.